Me. Let's go, oh. Check out.
We're shutting it down, man.
Let's go.
Thank you very much, guys. Good night.
What a party!
Sublime played backyard parties all over Orange County for a couple of years. Then in the spring of '90, music student Michael Happel approached them with an offer they couldn't refuse.
I said, you know, I go to school, I got free studio time, you know. Brad like lit up, he was like, yeah, we're down for that. I got some songs right now.
We went in and snuck in after hours and recorded all night long from, you know, midnight till 7 o'clock in the morning before the professor got back there.
That's when things got out of control.
They recorded a demo called Ja Won't Pay the Bills and sold it at their shows. The tape circulated all over Orange County, creating a buzz in the region's thriving ska and punk scene.
If it wasn't for day rape, I'd never get laid.
It became our favorite tape. I thought that Bradley was the black guy, you know, because his voice is so, like, soulful, and I had it all in my head exactly what he looked like, you know, and I was falling in love with him just from his voice.
And he screamed, but the gods paid no attention to his cries.
By 1991, Sublime was becoming legendary in the local clubs. And they made sure they lived up to their hard-playing, hard-partying image.
In the morning, I spoke 2 joints at night.
This was some serious party culture. I mean, we were partying every day.
Narcotics were an ever-present part of the Long Beach party scene.
I smoked 2 joints before I smoked 2 joints, and then I smoked 2 more.
These guys were messing with hard drugs. I mean, growing up in Long Beach from a young age, you know, it was always around.
My friends were doing it, they were okay, nobody's dying, you know. Sure, I'll get high with you, you know, and just about everywhere you go, there was drugs of some sort at every party.
This has been brought to you by the Cannabis Action Network. We can't normalize y'all.
For years, Brad feared heroin and refused to try it. But by the time he entered his 20s, his curiosity got the better of him.
His excuse for taking the heroin was that he felt like he had to be larger than life. He was leading the band, he was leading his fans, and he had to put on this persona. He'd heard a lot of musicians say that they were taking heroin to be more creative and all that kind of bunk. So those were his excuses.
He thought that he could wear it like a, you know what I mean, like a costume for a while, and control it, you know. I think he honestly thought that, you know, for a while.
Coming up, one wild day at the Weenie Roast.
Sublime gave out 300 laminates to all of their friends. All of Long Beach was backstage. K-Rock was freaking out.
There's only a finite number of people that can be backstage without the fire marshal coming in and clearing everybody out and basically shutting down the show. It's not good.
When Behind the Music continues. Sublime was practically the house band for Orange County, California in the late 1980s, playing virtually every dive bar and backyard barbecue south of LA.
We called it brick by brick. That was our philosophy. Brick by brick. It doesn't matter if we go to a town to make one friend. That's one more than we had.
Then in February of 1990, Sublime added an attraction to their traveling circus.
It was more than the usual boy and his dog.
Brad adopted an abused Dalmatian puppy and named him Louie, after his grandfather.
Lou Dog just loved Brad because it's like the first time he'd like actually been shown love, you know.
Brad and Lou Dog were instantly inseparable.
Everybody say Louie, 1, 2, 3.
Definitely a member of the band for sure. I mean, he was everywhere that they went. Louie Dog was there. He sung about Louie Dog, you know, and it was a really big part of his life.
Louie would stand on stage when they'd play, and he'd just curl up next to Brad's feet. He was the rock star dog.
In March of '91, Sublime produced their first full-length album, 40 Ounces to Freedom, recording it with money they scraped together from friends and family. By '92, they were headlining and selling out clubs throughout Southern California.
We packed the place. I mean, it would be a madhouse.
Reputation was spreading, the CDs were selling, it was getting out.
This is the original track of the next album.
It was like a party. They would turn each club into a party.
Let's trash the whole place.
Troy Dendecker fell for Sublime the first time she saw them in the summer of '92. After the show, she fell for Brad and invited him back to a party at a friend's house.
He was kind of an introvert, kind of shy, but he was very intelligent. And Brad and I ended up just talking all night and became friends.
He told me the first day that he had met her that he had met somebody really special.
Brad and Troy's relationship would develop gradually over the course of a couple of years. But at the same time, Brad was developing a heroin habit. And by early '93, friends say he had become an addict.
He had told me he had been getting high for a while and that he needed it, he was sick, and I could kind of see it in his face that he had been using.
It was the big gossip. Oh yeah, you heard that lead singer of Sublime, he's all strung out, and he's a heroin addict, he's a junkie. And Brad wasn't secretive about it. He did not hide it from anyone.
I'd talked to him, you know, about it, and I had tried to nurse him back to health, tried to, you know, beat him up a few times and knock some sense into him, and none of those things worked.
Lying in my plastic bed, thinking how things weren't so cool to me.
By the time Brad started recording Sublime's second album in June of '93, it was clear that heroin had a firm grip on his life.
Tying on that dinosaur.
The song Pool Shark was Brad's take on powerlessness in the face of addiction.
I've got that needle and I can't shake, but I can't breathe. I take it away, I want more and more. One day I'm gonna lose the war.
It's really sad, but he wrote what he knew, and he pretty much laid it out there.
There's no question that Brad understood the dangers involved and that he knew that it was a life-threatening situation. He understood that. I worried every night about getting the phone call, you know, that he had OD'd.
At this point, you know, it wasn't a question of was it going to happen, it was more of a question of when it was going to happen.
I want more and more. One day I'm gonna lose the war.
Next, Brad's family steps between him and his addiction.
I actually physically fought him on the stairs.
My wife had to knee him in his most vulnerable spot to stop him.
I hit him in the balls and he went down hard.
When
12 years old and 2 more she'll be a whore. Nobody ever told her it's the wrong way.
With their music, Sublime told tales from the seedier side of the California dream, where hookers and hard drugs were as much a part of life as the sun and the surf.
The only family that she's ever had is her 7 horny brothers and a drunk-ass dad.
They are the Beach Boys in a postmodern era. There's a lot of kids with drug problems.